Yo, let me just see this right quick.
You get a pack of Phillies.
What? Phillies! Phillies! Are you deaf?
No hat.
You speak English, bitch? I said Phillies, nigga. I want this shit.
Watch your mouth.
The fuck you say, nigga?
Watch your mouth.
You watch your fucking mouth, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? How the fuck that feel, nigga?
Familiar.
Hey, what the fuck you doing, nigga? Hey, fall back.
I said fall back. You hear me?
This motherfucker was talking shit.
You know who the hell that is?
Fix your face. Don't fucking look at him. That's OG Merc. You wouldn't have a flag to fly if it wasn't for that brother right there. That cold-hearted motherfucker would.
It's been a minute, man. When you get out?
About 6 months ago.
6 months? My phone ain't ring. How come I ain't know?
Been laying low, bro. You know what it is out here. It's tucked away, man. Stay up, D.
All right, stay up, bro.
Holy shit! Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out! Hey. Give me the fucking key. Where the fucking keys at?
Stay in the car. Lock the doors and don't move.
Give me the fucking key! No, they're in the car. Back up! Hey, back up! Don't shoot.
Leave him alone.
Man, back the fuck up, man. Ain't none of your business.
Get the fuck out of here, now!
The film opens in Los Angeles in 1992, where Mercer receives a call from Child Protection Services following his conditional custody arrangement for his son, Antoine. As he goes to wake Antoine for school, a man named Regan meets with his friend Copeland, asking him to join him for one last heist so they can leave their criminal lifestyle behind and seek a peaceful life. Back at Mercer's home, he prepares breakfast for Antoine, who refuses to eat. Simultaneously, the radio broadcasts news about a white police officer, Rodney King, who brutally assaulted an innocent black man alongside some of his colleagues and is currently on trial, drawing significant attention from the black community. Mercer attempts to engage with Antoine, who confronts him about his absence throughout his childhood and his failure to be present during his mother's accident. Mercer tries to remain calm despite Antoine's defiance but ultimately raises his voice when Antoine mutters profanity after Mercer imposes a curfew due to the escalating situation surrounding the Rodney King case. Meanwhile, Regan picks up his brother Dennis and visits their difficult father to demonstrate their planned heist. In a grocery store, Mercer encounters a group of inexperienced thugs attempting to intimidate an Asian cashier. He politely intervenes, advising them to leave her alone, but they respond by threatening him with a gun. At that moment, an older man named DeVille intervenes, reprimanding the thugs for their ignorance regarding Mercer's past significance in the community. DeVille apologizes to Mercer and inquires about his release from prison, revealing the circumstances that led to Mercer's absence from his family. Mercer explains that he has been out for 6 months and is now focusing on maintaining a low profile. On Regan's side, he takes his father to a factory where he has obtained detailed information about a safe containing $10 million worth of platinum. The safe is heavily secured with an alarm that activates a metal cage around it. Despite Regan's meticulous planning for the heist, his father expresses reluctance about undertaking such a significant operation and criticizes Regan's professionalism in evading factory security and surveillance. This ongoing disrespect adds to the frustrations Regan has been enduring from his father, yet he remains silent and drives him back home. Unbeknownst to them, Mercer is following in his car, employed at the same platinum factory. As he retrieves his card and keys, he engages in a conversation with the head of security, Joseph, regarding the Rodney King case, noting that tensions may escalate if the jury's verdict is unfavorable to the black victim. Meanwhile, Dennis and Regan are depicted bonding together, with Dennis offering support to Regan after their father disapproves of Regan's plan. Later that day, news breaks that the jury has declared Rodney not guilty, sparking unrest within the black community. A violent protest erupts in Los Angeles, gradually escalating in size and intensity. Antoine returns home from school and observes the riot unfolding near his residence, including looting at a liquor store. Meanwhile, Regan, watching the news, devises a plan to execute his heist, believing that police resources will be diverted to manage the chaos. He contacts his father, who agrees to proceed with their plan. In contrast, Mercer and his fellow factory workers are sent home for the remainder of the day for their safety. Regan receives updates from a source within the factory about the situation, prompting him to gather Dennis and initiate their heist. They pick up Copeland from his home, where his pregnant wife is advised to stay indoors while he is out. Back at the factory, Mercer requests Joseph's permission to bring Antoine into the facility, citing safety concerns due to their home being situated in a volatile neighborhood. Joseph, sympathetic to Mercer's situation, agrees to allow them to remain safe within the factory. Meanwhile, Regan expresses frustration towards his father for hiring 2 thugs for protection. Mercer navigates through the tumultuous riot to retrieve his son, only to discover their home abandoned. As police vehicles respond to the riot, Dennis drives their van toward the factory. Bored with monitoring the surveillance feeds, Joseph decides to patrol the building. Outside, Regan incapacitates and restrains the security guard before driving their van through the main entrance. They proceed through the loading docks, assuming they are alone, but encounter Joseph by the vending machine. Regan attempts to politely persuade him to move aside. However, his father's hired thugs unexpectedly shoot Joseph, startling both brothers. Regan and the thug engage in a standoff, each threatening to shoot the other. However, their father intervenes, reminding them of their shared objective, acquiring platinum. The thugs proceed to cut the phone lines and disable surveillance before using a forklift to access the safe room, where they prepare their equipment to breach the safe. Meanwhile, Mercer locates his son standing near a grocery store that is being looted by individuals from the black community and swiftly takes him by the collar to escort him to their car. In contrast, the thugs begin drilling into the safe. Joseph regains consciousness and manages to activate the security button for the safe, which triggers the descent of a metal cage. Regan quickly drives the forklift forward in an attempt to halt the cage's descent. During this chaotic moment, Copeland's leg becomes trapped under the front tire, resulting in injury. Regan, in a state of panic, tries to reverse the forklift to free his friend's leg. However, his father adamantly refuses, fearing that doing so would cause the cage to drop. Regan expresses his frustration towards his father for being obstructive, prompting his father to instruct his thugs to take the keys from the forklift to prevent Regan from reversing it. Simultaneously, an air patrol helicopter is alerted by the factory alarm and decides to investigate. Meanwhile, Antoine attempts to escape from the car to join the escalating protest, but Mercer pulls him back inside, emphasizing that violence is not a solution to long-standing issues. He urges Antoine to recognize how their community is being harmed, which ultimately serves the interests of law enforcement. Back at the factory, the thugs silence the alarm and shoot Joseph again. Mercer and Antoine navigate through a precarious situation where a group of black men is threatening an innocent white couple. Mercer exits his vehicle and intervenes, physically confronting the assailants to protect the couple. The robbers utilize all available means in their effort to breach the safe but pause when they notice the helicopter overhead. The officers aboard observe a quiet scene and subsequently depart. Mercer and Antoine are unexpectedly pulled over by police officers enforcing a curfew. The officers exhibit discriminatory behavior towards Mercer and Antoine due to their race, forcibly removing them from their vehicle for an unwarranted search. After finding nothing incriminating, they release Mercer and his son. However, Antoine is left traumatized by the indifference displayed during the encounter. On the other side, the criminals successfully open the safe using explosives, resulting in their newfound wealth. Regan heads off to prepare the van, while Dennis goes to the restroom to wash off Copeland's blood from his hands. At that moment, Mercer arrives with Antoine, who notices the absence of the main door security guard and finds it peculiar. Despite this, he proceeds inside and directs Antoine towards the bathroom, as he needs to relieve himself. Antoine's sudden entrance startles Dennis, prompting him to point his gun at Antoine. Meanwhile, Mercer discovers Joseph has been shot dead. He takes Joseph's gun and moves forward, only to be fired upon by the thugs. Mercer manages to evade them and searches for Antoine, but finds him missing. He rushes to the loading dock to cut the power in an effort to confront the thugs. He engages one of the 2 thugs blocking his path and then returns to the loading dock, where he encounters Regan parking the van. Mercer knocks Regan out with a single punch and takes him away. Dennis brings Antoine to his father, who begins interrogating him in front of a distressed Copeland, whose leg had to be amputated. Mercer attempts to question Regan but gains no useful information. Realizing Regan is there to steal the platinum, he sneaks into the safe room and witnesses Regan's father threatening his son. Unable to bear Copeland's screams any longer, the old man shoots him multiple times, killing him and traumatizing both Dennis and Antoine. Antoine, however, persuades the old man that he was searching for his missing father who works there, prompting the old man to feel sympathetic and allow Antoine to leave. Unfortunately, at that moment, his thugs arrive with news that someone has taken Riggin. The old man immediately calls Antoine back and chastises him for lying about his father. He decides to use Antoine as bait to retrieve Riggin, keeping him close while sending the thugs to check on the van, where they discover that the rotor is missing. Mercer hastily exits the room and attempts to signal a patrolling helicopter for assistance, but it departs without responding. One of the thugs ambushes him from behind and assaults him in an effort to retrieve the van's rotor, which Mercer had stolen to prevent the vehicle from starting. Mercer retaliates with profanity and a struggle ensues. Ultimately, he manages to shoot the thug, causing him to crash through the glass ceiling of the safe room and land in front of the old man. Afterward, Mercer returns to Riggin and frees him from his restraints, expressing sympathy for Riggin's unfortunate situation with his unfeeling father. He reveals that he has just shot a member of his own team in front of his son, leading Riggin to deduce that it was Copeland, prompting him to turn against his father. Meanwhile, the old man and one of his thugs pour acid over the vault and various items in the room before packing the platinum biscuits and preparing to leave. Dennis sits down with Antoine, attempting to inquire about Riggin's whereabouts. However, Antoine insists he has no information. The old man eventually contacts Mercer and proposes a deal, instructing him to meet at the loading dock for an exchange without a weapon. Riggin warns Mercer that it is a trap, as Antoine is a witness and his father does not spare witnesses. Consequently, Mercer decides to use Riggin as leverage, who agrees to cooperate. At the loading docks, Dennis is seen loading the platinum into the van. The old man retrieves the van's rotor and has it repaired but decides to shoot Antoine as revenge for the thug Mercer had killed. In response, Mercer pushes Riggin toward the van and opens fire with his weapon, during which Dennis is shot. In the end, Riggin assists Dennis into the van, which Mercer and Antoine then drive away with the stolen platinum. Driven by greed, Riggin's father steals Mercer's car near the main gate along with one of his thugs and pursues them. As Dennis dies in Riggin's arms, Riggin becomes distraught and opens the van door to shoot at his father, during which he is shot in the chest by the thug. Before losing consciousness, he manages to shoot the thug. However, Antoine and Mercer are momentarily distracted by the gunfire, leading to a severe crash of the van. The old man approaches the wrecked van and sees all of his platinum scattered on the ground. Observing Riggin on the verge of death, he expresses regret for not being a better father and shoots him in the head. Hearing Mercer struggling to exit the van, he prepares to shoot him as well, but Antoine, trembling with fear, shoots the old man from behind, saving his father. The film concludes with father and son embracing each other as they escape in their car. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.